as Statehood Day marks the day when Lithuania's first and only king, Mindaugas, was coronated in 1253. The day symbolizes strength, pride and unity of Lithuanians, both in Lithuania and across the world. We will talk to Agnė Belickaitė about the idea of singing the national anthem by Lithuanians together and the symbolism of this day. Good evening, delighted to have you with us. So the singing of national anthem throughout the globe, why this particular tradition, why this particular way of paying tribute to the history of Lithuania, I believe?
So it started 15 years ago when we were celebrating 1,000 years of Lithuania's name being mentioned. And it was a huge birthday for us as a country and as a nation. So we had this yacht called Amber Sail, sailing across the globe, visiting Lithuanians all around the world. And the conclusion of this trip was everyone in the world singing the national anthem of Lithuania at the same time. So this started the tradition 15 years ago, and to this day we're still going, and we are the only nation that does that every year on July 6th at 9 p.m. Wherever you are, if you are a Lithuanian, or even if you're not a Lithuanian, but you support our country, you like our country for some reason, you are welcome to sing our national anthem. And it has become a very, very big deal. So we are very proud of it.
So before we move on to the next question, let's see how in a show of unity, Lithuanians are singing across the globe. Well, it is indeed beautiful. So what is the Lithuanian anthem about? What are the lyrics? If you could perhaps translate for us and also give us a little bit of history behind the anthem.
So the Lithuanian anthem is all about the unity and the strength of the nation, of us being proud that we live in, the land that we live in, the sun that's above us, so it's the pride and unity and the strength of our nation was always at the helm of every national symbolic here in Lithuania. And the anthem is written by a very famous poet here in our country, the lyrics. And it's been a very important for us during the hardships that we know we went through several decades ago, and it has become one of the major symbols of freedom, of independence, of us being, strong, whatever happens. And now that we have the geopolitical issues in our region again, it is becoming extremely important once again. So it unites us everywhere. It reminds us that wherever we are, it doesn't matter if we left Lithuania for one reason or the other, we are united by the pride and the strength that we feel in our country and in our nation.
Absolutely. And now let me ask you about the stats. Do you know how many people were singing?
I know that in the video that you're showing currently, 65,000 Lithuanians gathered together only in the capital of Lithuania. So in Vilnius, in only one place, it was 65,000 people, but we actually were singing everywhere in the capital and in the rest of the country. And we've received tens of videos and hundreds of photos from all around the globe, including places like Vanuatu Island in the Pacific Ocean, where only 2 Lithuanians reside right now, but they were singing, and we have people like that everywhere. So we would like to see millions. We're not brave enough to see millions, but I hope it's millions. At least it's hundreds of thousands of Lithuanians singing together.
Right, and how this tradition snowballed into such a big event? Because, I mean, someone had to spread the word, right? So how did it happen?
So the first time, 26 communities of Lithuanians that were visited by this yacht going around the world were singing together because, well, the people on the yacht actually went to every one of those communities and talked to them about this idea. So they all gathered together everywhere they were, and we were singing together. And this became, a huge piece of information in Lithuanian media. And Lithuanians all across the globe saw that. And after the first year, it became bigger and bigger every year. But now, when we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of this tradition, it's actually the first time that the world, people like you, are discussing this globally. And we are very, very happy and grateful for it, because I think now we can reach even more Lithuanians who may have felt, not abandoned, but far away from their country. So if they hear about this, if they haven't heard before, maybe they will join us, and it's actually going to be millions.
Incredible idea indeed. Could we perhaps take just a short look at the Lithuanian diaspora around the world? What are the numbers? Why people left? Did you have any major waves of migration out of the country?
There were several waves. So the most recent one, of course, was the most positive one when we joined the European Union, and people were traveling because they were looking for new experiences or different education or different jobs. And these are the people who are very connected to the country, and these are the people who sing the national anthem. We had more sadder stories or more desperate times where people were leaving because they were fleeing the occupation, they were fleeing war and all kinds of terrible things. A lot of people like that live in the United States. A lot of people like that live in countries like Australia, and we hear from them a lot because they do speak the original Lithuanian language. Their Lithuanian language is the one that they brought with them when they were running. And even though now it might be more modern here in Lithuania, but they bring back the origins of our roots, and they are very committed to keeping their roots, alive, and talking about the country and talking about the nation that they left, not because they didn't want to live here, but because they were forced to for one reason or another.
Right, and so speaking about Lithuania's traditions, right, aside from singing the anthem, what are some other traditions that perhaps you'd like to mention?
We like to celebrate, and we do like to sing and dance, actually. And one of the reasons why this national anthem was so big in Vilnius was because we were celebrating the 100th year anniversary of our National Sing and Dance Festival. We call it the Šventė here in Lithuania. And it's like tens of thousands of people gathering just to show their own traditions in singing and dancing, showing their traditions in clothing, showing their traditions in celebrating. So this was a very, and you can see thousands of people here representing different parts of Lithuania and singing their own traditional songs and dancing their own traditional dances. So we are a pretty happy nation if you look at our traditions.
Indeed. And let me ask you about politicians, because looking at the footage, there were some high-ranking politicians present at this collective singing. So would you say that it also sort of connects people from different political factions?
Absolutely. When we have this tradition, none of the political disputes or differences matter. You can see all of our highest ranking politicians singing together, but every representative from political parties, from the government, from the parliament, they are singing, and they're very proud of this tradition, so they're posting about it on their social media. And you can see that it doesn't really matter what values you represent as a politician or what questions are important to you. Traditions like these, they just unite everyone in the country.
It is a lovely initiative indeed, and I hope that next year there will be even more people singing together. Agnė let's
I hope so too.
actually
Thank you.
let's actually take a quick listen to the anthem once again.